Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. How are you guys doing? This is a quick one, about 30 minutes live stream. So if you're online right now, hop in, let's have this conversation. Let's discuss this conversation. Join me. If you're watching from Facebook, like this live stream for me, share as well as join in. Let's have this quick conversation right away. Okay. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about the polygamist Yul Edochie not taking care of his kids. That was alarming when I heard it. Did I believe that? Coming from the wife's attorney, yes, I believe that statement, guys. And also, we'll be discussing about Yvonne Jegede that went on a podcast and said what ought not to be said. We'll be talking about all of that, and also here to advise young women out there. If you're thinking about being someone's second wife or third wife or fifth, sixth, make sure the person is capable of taking care of all his children. Don't just focus on your kids. Also recognize that the man had children before you came in. So, why am I talking about Yul Edochie this afternoon? This is my lunch time, so I decided to do 30 minutes live stream to have this conversation. Could anybody have believed that Yul Edochie, 3 years down the line after asking and shouting on being a polygamist, could not afford to take care of his children? We are talking about his children with his first wife. He has 3 children with his first wife. They used to be 4, but one passed. So they're now 3 living children with his first wife. And don't think they're grown. No, the oldest, the daughter, is a teenager. I think she turned 19 this year. So the rest will be 14 and then probably 7 or 8 years old for the last one. I think 7 years old. So automatically, the polygamy journey is not working for you. Are there lessons to learn? Obviously, there are lessons to learn. And this, goes to, prove some of the things I've been sharing here at Oyoyo's World. Before you bring your family online, before you think of bringing your family affairs online, be ready for the consequences. This will make it 3 years that Yul Edochie's case has been online. If the story is trying to, die down in one way or the other, Yul resurrects the story again. He granted an interview about 4 months ago. I guess the bloggers did not see that until recently, where he made a statement that if you marry the first one, if it's not working, move on, marry the second one. You are entitled to marry up to 50 wives. The bloggers just got hold of that information this week and it's been all over the place. And again, an actress, a very seasoned actress that you would think by now she would have mastered the art of social media and what to say and what not to say, how to articulate pass your message, but she did not. Yvonne Jegede is a very pretty woman. She's been in the industry for a long time. She was on a podcast where she granted interview and saying there was nothing wrong in you marrying a second wife. And she gave why she says so. Unfortunately, that statement would have been a very good statement, but she did not put it right. And trust Nigerians, they came after her. I'm using this medium to pass the message that I've been saying here for a very long time. Before you come on social media to say something, sometimes pause, chew your words before they come out. Yeah, Americans are very good at it. Let me give you an example. They were like, when they're saying they're already processing what to say before the statement is out of their lips. Because most times, in fact, every time, you cannot retrieve a spoken words. You can go and make apologies, but that word is already out there. And that's what happened to Yvonne Jegede. How could she say there was nothing wrong? The way you got into the second wife thing, everything about it, everything, they are all shades of wrong. every aspect of it. The fact that he kept a relationship outside his marriage for about 6 years, living a double life, not fulfilling the marriage vow, or the fact that he got the woman pregnant and then went behind closed doors from what was said outside to do the needful on the woman's side, and then now coming to force the first wife to accept polygamy. Everything about it, I will tell you, all shades of wrong. People went on comparing Ned Nwoko and Yul Edochie because Ned Nwoko is a full polygamist. But I've said it several times when I was running Yul Edochie's story, you can never compare these two. Ned Nwoko's polygamy wasn't a mistake. It was an intentional polygamy. He wanted it from onset. I'm marrying you today doesn't mean you're the only wife. I could marry another, marry another. And then again, Ned Nwoko, as a lawyer, did not take his marriages into any kind of legal form. In this, when I mean legal form, statutory. He never did any court marriage. He never went to any registry. He did not do that statutory marriage that will be binding a man and a woman together as into a monogamous home. He did not do it. He only went on to do the traditional rite, which allows a man to marry as many as you can cater for. So when people compare Yul Edochie and Ned Nwoko, I'll just, when I hear those stories, I laugh. And when Yul Edochie was trying to align himself with Ned Nwoko, I laughed. Ned wasn't secretly seeing a woman, got a woman pregnant before he went to pay the bride price. No. He went through the route and told the wives were all informed. They were informed another wife could come. When Ned granted interviews in the past, when the story of Regina, his latest wife, was all over the place, he said, no, my wives are informed that another woman could come into the marriage because I told them, I informed them. I'm going to be breaking it down a little bit. We don't have much time. Like I said, this is my lunch time. I just wanted to bring this information here and also for us to learn one or two things. Before you come on social media to grant interviews, chew your words before they come out because you can't retrieve it once it's out. There are so many ways to chew your words while you process them before you say them out. Americans use they're thinking about what to say. Or some people also, they're telling you, trying to like process their thoughts before you vomit it. Yvonne Jegede went there and threw out what she threw online. Now she's getting the backlash and it's not favorable to her because for her age in the industry, which is entertainment industry, she should have been wiser. She should have known better. So there is no reason for this kind of very lousy mistake, if you really ask me. Nobody is telling anybody not to marry a second wife, but make sure from the very first day, the first marriage you have, make sure you do not contract that marriage statutorily. Because if you do, that marriage binds you. If you go the other way to marry another, you are committing an offense. And it becomes a crime. Because if they take Yul Edochie now on bigamy, he goes to jail. Believe it or not, 7 years for bigamy. But he's very lucky that his first wife or estranged wife is not going that route of charging him or asking the court, I'm bringing this matter to court based on the fact that my ex-husband or estranged husband committed bigamy. That's not what Nail filed in her lawsuit, divorce suit. And that's the saving grace that Yul has. But Yul can never be quiet. He can never comport himself. He can never think through before he processes something because he feels, I am the man. And based on the culture, Nigerian culture history, nobody can say anything or do anything. If my friends come after me, I'm going to start calling them out because they all have their secret side chicks. So nobody is saying anything. I can do as I want, as I please, not minding the offense he committed by so doing, marrying Judy. And the evidence coming out of that relationship, the children, Judy's children, are the evidence that an offense has been committed. They are not trying to say they were never married based on the court documents he filed, that he did not have any second wife. He only married to May Edochie. He refused to accept that he's married to Judy to avoid going to jail. So if you're a man out there and you want to do a second wife thing, make sure when you're taking the first vow with your wife, tell the woman is going to be customary married, because there is an opening or possibility of me marrying another wife in the future. It's not when you get into statutory marriage, you have promised to be faithful in the marriage, promised the woman to live with her and live with her alone. Suddenly, you want to divert the information and then start thinking about polygamy at the 11th hour. It is very late. The only option left for you is to divorce the first marriage and go into traditional marriage or whatever marriage you want to do with your new wife. Now, you came to tell our young folks, if the marriage is not working, walk away. Walk away several times. You can do 50 wives in your lifetime. He has sons. He's not thinking about it. Now he has 4 sons, 2 from Judy and then 2 from May. So that would be the advice this man is going to pass on to his sons. He's not even thinking about it. He's just thinking for the moment, what is going to put me out there on social media? I need to be making money. After all, he now claims that May Edochie makes more money than him. That is the latest revelation coming out from the attorney representing May Edochie in this matter. So now, what happened to Yul Edochie, the polygamist? Any polygamous man is expected for you to take care of all your children. Not half of the children, all. Not the children of your favorite wife, all the children. That is what shows that you're man enough to go into polygamy and cater for your children. In the recent interview granted by the lawyer, May Edochie's lawyer, the attorney said that right now, as of the time he made that video, I believe he made that video today or late yesterday evening, he said that Yul does not care for his children. He's not catering for them. That the last time he told his daughter, your mother now makes more money than me, therefore I have no responsibility whatsoever. Think about it. And this is what polygamy could cost you when you're not ready. Polygamy could cause you to suddenly withdraw from your children that you have lived with for all their lives, suddenly. So before you go into a polygamy, if you're a young man out there listening to me, before you think about polygamy, be ready that you're going to commit to providing for all your children. Even if you're no longer in good terms with the other women or your wives, but your children is your responsibility. Your children, you have to cater for them, pay school fees, tuition, their upkeep, everything. So what happened to you? What happened to all the money he has been making for the past 3 years being controversial on social media? I was like, maybe that what the attorney said is not true, but I said, no, this man has the case file. This man goes for meetings with the client. They talk about all of this. He knows what he has put in the court document, what he's asking the court. So there is no way he would turn his ring light and start lying against you. I'm a full polygamist. I'm a proud polygamist, according to you. But this same proud polygamist cannot afford to take care of his children. I don't know how that, how he processes that and feels comfortable with it. I don't know. Even if you're not in terms with me, you're fighting your first wife because she refused to join you in the polygamy. It shouldn't get down to your children for them to start bearing the brunt. No, you should still be able to cater for your children and pay tuition and for their upkeep. And he's number one person to share the daughter's pictures on his profile. Now, in African tradition, they say when wind blow, fire nyash will open. And that's what happened to you. Why is this now in the public domain? Because you went on making statements on social media, granting unnecessary interview. Unnecessary, when I mean unnecessary, interviews. That's why they will come out and bring his case in the public. Now, everybody in Nigeria that is an internet user saw that interview. He's not paying school fees. He's not taking care of his children. And this is coming from a man that was so proud a few years ago to be a polygamist. This is still the same man that Judy made a full video and full live stream defending the man that he's the one catering for the children. He's the one that, if I tell you what you'll, according to Judy, that you'll does everything from school fees to every expenses of the children. So when did he stop? Did he stop because May filed for a divorce? Or did he stop truly because he has no money? Has Yul gone bankrupt? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Because at some point, he stopped producing movies. He was constantly on social media. And people said at some point that his social media was demonetized as well. So could that be the reason he stopped providing for the children? But even if it's the sole reason of lack of money, that's not the reason why you should tell your daughter that after all, your mother makes more money than me. I don't know what to make out of it. I want to know what your thought is in the comment section. Do you think that Yul is truly broke, that he can't cater for his children? Or do you think he's doing that as punishment to May for not agreeing to polygamy? Or do you think it's Judy that is running the show? So whatever she dictates is what Yul does. Let me know the category you're processing this whole thing, because I find it very difficult to believe that Yul is not caring for his children. But coming from the lawyer, I have to believe that statement. I have to. I'm saying again, like I said, this is going to be a very short live stream so that I can get back to what I'm doing for the day. But I just want us to understand one thing before you come on social media to say or grant interview. Because in the heat of the discussion, you might not know when you say what you're not supposed to say. Right now, Yvonne Jegede is regretting going for that podcast. She's regretting every bit of it because Nigerians are dragging her into, in fact, they're tearing her into pieces right now. If only she had thought it through. Because I don't even know how, I didn't watch that podcast in full, but I don't know what even brought up that conversation of Yul Edochie and me. And the thing is, this is a woman that her own husband abandoned in silence. According to her, the man did not speak to her for over 3 weeks. She packed her things and left. She's still dealing with her own pain. She hasn't finished dealing with her own pain. For anybody thinking divorce is easy, just take a moment, ask Cora Obidi, how sweet is it? At least that one is closer. Cora got divorced 2 years ago. Up till as I speak, she's still in court. The ex is still dragging her to take every last breath from her. Ask anybody that's gone through such process. Ask anybody. So this will be a big lesson for the likes of Yvonne Jegede. For the fact that you have the microphone, opportunity to talk. When you try to process, articulate your statement to be right. Because if you say anything anyhow right now on the social media, people will come for you. There is always a lesson to learn, and I believe that. Don't wait until you make that mistake before you learn. Learn from other people's mistake. From this kind of Yvonne's mistake, learn from it. If you're going for an interview tomorrow or anywhere, be careful what you say. because it's going to be held against you. Sincerely. There is nothing wrong in marrying a second wife. Polygamy is allowed in Africa, in Nigeria, I know. But before you marry the second one, make sure you inform the first one. Make sure you carry the second woman along. And again, make sure you did not start the first marriage on a very monogamous way. You did not contract a statutory marriage with the first wife. That is your number one goal. If you want to go into polygamy, make sure you go and do the right and cultural rights and tradition. You go do a bride price, take your wife home. No court marriage, no registry, because these days some churches now they have the license to conduct a statutory marriage. So make sure you do your traditional marriage and pack it there and take your wife home. Because the moment you sign those dotted lines in a registry, statutory of any kind, you are prohibited from marrying a second wife. The only option left for you is to dissolve the first marriage before you get into another. But you said you can marry up to 50, assuming marrying a wife is like going to buy fries at McDonald's or going to Kentucky Fried Chicken to buy some sizzling chicken. If you don't like this taste, you switch to another menu, another menu, another menu. No, that is not how marriage should go. That is not how marriage should be conducted. Because marriage is not just, yeah, I tasted this one, it did not taste right, so I'm switching to the next one. There are things that come with marriage. Children, for example, they come out the offspring that marriage produces. What will you do to them? As you're discarding and marrying and marry up to 50, are you also going to discard the children? But it's very clear now that while you made that statement 4 months ago, he has discarded his own children if he's not taking care of them. The lawyer said categorically, as he speaks, the guy has not been taking care of the children. So you can understand where that statement he made, you can marry as many as you want. If it's not working, you keep marrying, and maybe until you buy. And if you don't want to get married, you stay single. I've seen men that never married, and they live their life peacefully. When they pass, their community will come and run around to put them 6 feet down below. So marriage is not a must, and it's not a do or die affair. I don't believe that you have to stay in a marriage because you're already married. If it's not working, walk away, go to the court and get that marriage dissolved. But do the right thing. Do the right thing by filing for a divorce. And once you file for a divorce, move on. Don't be like Mr. Kora Obidi, that got divorced 2 years ago, is still dragging this woman 2 years after. So if the marriage is not working, you don't have to buy into that relationship to suit the society or to satisfy your culture. No, I don't believe in that. I believe if it's not working, you can file for a divorce and get the marriage dissolved completely. Get your decree nisi and know that it's all over. Then if you want to start another chapter, yes, you can. Not the way you talked about it. If you marry this one, is not working. If you find another relationship, jump into it. No. Do not take that advice. Every inch of it is wrong. Every inch of that advice is completely wrong. If you marry and it's not working, get the first one dissolved. Get your certificate of divorce that you're no longer married. Your decree nisi before you start a second one. Don't marry in pretense and put the person behind closed doors like you did with Judy. Up until May, it came on the public and May said, I cannot be cajoled to polygamy. Not every woman can thoroughly to share a man. You have to know where you stand. So anybody advising you, we're not saying polygamy is our culture, is our tradition. Fine. If you know you're going that route, start from day one of the first marriage. Have that discussion with that woman. Let her know that there is possibility of another wife in the future. And make sure You did not sign any statutory certificate showing that you married under the law, whereby you do your customary traditional and custom, the tradition of your people or the wife's people, your wife to be, make sure it's the custom and the tradition you went for. That will give you the room to marry another. The moment you go the statutory way by signing dotted lines and promising to be faithful in that relationship, if you violate any of this, it becomes an offense. And there is a charge for that crime, is bigamy. It attracts 7 years in prison time in Nigeria. Let that ring the bell in your ear. If you're a young man out there saying, I support what Yul is doing, make sure you do your own right. Because you might not be as lucky as you with that ex-wife. May is a very good woman. Some people, especially with the way Yul has dragged the story on social media, May would have gone for what? Sued for bigamy. And that would have been a big case for you. And if they prove it, that's jail time. But she did not put that in the prayers she's asking the court. It's not in her prayers at all. She's asking the court on custody. She's asking the court on how they are going to share their property. She wants to dissolve the marriage, is no longer working. It's irretrievably broken down. And as you can see, with evidence of this man not catering for his children, according to May's lawyer, that Yul is not taking care of the children. What a shameful statement for a proud polygamist. If anybody had told any of us 2 years, 3 years ago that Yul will come to this level of not caring for his children, I know you will not believe it, just like I didn't believe it. The only reason why I am believing this story is because it's coming from the attorney handling the case. And why is the attorney on social media broadcasting this? Is because of Yul consistently putting himself in the mouth of bloggers. Consistently. And Yvonne Jegede's case did not make it palatable for him. The next thing they will start comparing Ned Nwoko, comparing you. These two relationships are not the same. And these two people, the way they started their polygamy is not the same. People should stop comparing them. Ned Nwoko never had statutory marriage with all his wives. It's always custom and tradition, which is also binding in Nigeria as a legal marriage. And that gives the room for multiple wives. But Yul started as a monogamous marriage. Monogamous man, he took the vow, he signed the dotted line in the registry. He went for statutory marriage. I'm going to love and to behold till death do you part. And 18 years down the line, is no longer to love and hold. You want to force a polygamy into the ex. Guys, I just want us to bring this. I just want to bring this for our consumption this afternoon for us to know what is going on. It is very sad to hear that the proud polygamist Yul Edochie is not taking care of his children. Very, very sad to hear coming from May Edochie's attorney. It is very sad to hear that 3 years down the line, Yul Edochie abandoned his first set of children. Very, very sad indeed. And guys, I've been talking for almost 30 minutes now. I said it's going to be a very short live stream, and it's going to remain short indeed. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Oyoyo. Feel free to rewatch if you want to hear what I said today. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do well to subscribe. Turn on your post notification bell to receive my videos whenever I go live. And if you're following on YouTube, on Facebook, do follow my page on Facebook, like and share and invite your friends. I'll be calling it a day this afternoon. Join me tomorrow for another live stream if you want to hear what Oyoyo has to say. I appreciate all of you, especially those watching me behind closed doors. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to like this live stream for me, and don't forget to share, and don't forget to leave me your thoughts in the comment section. Like I said, our young folks, If you want to go into polygamy, make sure you start it from the very first day. Don't get into statutory marriage and want to join polygamy with it. The two do not go together. You have to dissolve the statutory marriage before you go into your polygamy. Take that word from me to help you. Take it to the bank. You can cash it. That is the full statement. That is the wisest thing anybody could do. Until I see you guys next time, be well and look out for each other. Thank you guys for watching me today. Don't forget to like, share, and leave me your comments in the comment section. Bye, everyone.